Welcome to InsidePTI, weekly videos designed to get you the trial results you want, agronomy explanations you need, and insights that'll set you up for success on your farm. Hey, we're at the PTI farm today and I want to talk a little bit about how we do pre-harvest yield checks. Now, I'm sure a lot of you growers are just like me. Before harvest, we're going out, walking our cornfields and trying to get an idea of what is actual corn yield going to look like. Can we predict, and how close can we get to knowing how many bushels we're raising out there in the field? That way we can kind of shore up our marketing programs that we have and give us an idea of maybe how much storage we need on the farm as well. But one of the things I've really struggled with is really trying to get a yield estimate to be accurate for me. Now, when I was in college years ago, my professors told me the way you calculate yield is you take the number of ears per acre you have in the field times the average round. So we've got an ear of corn here. We break this in half and we count how many rows round, and then we multiply that times the length. So we count how many kernels we have length on the ear. And then we have to divide it by a number. And this is what's caused the calculation to be wrong in years past. I was taught to divide it by 90,000. 90,000 is a number of kernels in a bushel of corn. And that's what we can't predict. That's why this method has been inaccurate for a lot of years when we've done yield checks. This number depends on weather, okay, how heavy these kernels are, and really by the hybrid or genetics, so that can change. The problem is we don't know this number, kernels in a bushel, until really after harvest. So when we've gone in and done yield checks using the old formula in the past, you know, here's 2017, when combines rolled, we were surprised because we actually had 30% more corn than what we thought. We were under-reporting yield, and I think a lot of it was due to the weight of the corn. When we started harvesting this corn, we noticed that we had heavy test weight, and that's why we had more corn on a per acre basis. But we were off considerably. 2018, we're out using the same formula. We're off 15%. We're under-reporting yield by 15%. Again, using that 90,000 kernels in a bushel. Last year in 2019, we're off 16%, once again, under-reporting. And so we looked at these numbers and we said, it's just not accurate. There's got to be a better way of trying to figure out what kind of yield do I have pre-harvest. I don't really like this formula, and to be honest with you, we don't even use it anymore, except just for comparison. This is my new formula that we've been using the past 3 years, and I think this has gotten us a lot closer to predicting yield. We're still using ear count per acre. We got to know how many ears we've got in the field, but rather than counting round and length, we're measuring ear weight. That's why our formula up here has been wrong, because we never knew how heavy these kernels were going to be. So now we weigh the ear. The hardest part with this is once we get an ear weight, it's pre-harvest, some of the weight of this corn is moisture. So we've got to get a moisture of this corn, and that's what's been the hardest thing. We've had to shell this corn by hand and actually measure the moisture through a Dickie John moisture sensor or whatever moisture sensor you have available. But this has actually given us some really good numbers. This is a summary of all the corn hybrids we had on the farm this past year, and we actually predicted yield within 4%. We were still under-reporting a bit, but we got within 4%, and I thought, nah, we're coming together here. We're doing a good job of knowing how many bushels we've got out in the field. You remember what we talked about in 2017 where we were 30% off, where we used our ear weight formula? We were reporting -7, so a big difference. Okay, we were shoring up this difference quite well. Again, looking at ear weight and the moisture of this ear. That helped us get close to yield. 2018, we were within 8%. The old formula, -15, so we cut it just about in half. And again, 2019, we went from being -16% off with the old formula, getting it down to that 4% that we mentioned earlier. So this has done a much better job of actually being able to predict real yield pre-harvest. The hardest part about this new formula is we have to get ear weight. It's not really difficult, but we have to go in, we take these ears. Usually what I do is I'll lay a tape measure down, measure 17.5 feet, that 1,000th of an acre, and I'll take the 1st, 5th, 10th, 15th, 20th, 25th ear, and we'll bring those in and put them on a digital scale, and we'll weigh them to get an average ear weight. So that's where we get this in the formula. Then the next step is moisture. That again has been hard in the past because we had to hand shell this corn, and if it was high moisture, that was really difficult. But we've gotten a lot smarter. We brought in technology to help us with the moisture, and this is called a SIO unit. And we've been using this, I guess we brought it in last year for the first time, But this is technology that you can turn this on and Bluetooth it to your phone, and there's an app that connects it together, and we can put the SIO on an ear of corn, and it'll tell us the moisture of corn from I guess it goes up to 76% moisture corn, which is interesting. We've never been able to do that high of moisture before, but it's super accurate. We just have 5 readings on every ear of corn, and we'll get that moisture, and then we can plunk it into our formula, and that's what's giving us the really accurate yield reporting in the field. But ear weight and being able to track moisture are 2 huge issues with this new formula. But I think we can do them efficiently now with just a small digital scale, and then with our SIO, we can get weight and moisture pretty easy now. Today's Inside PTI agronomy tip of the day is go out into the field, weigh some ears. If you've got the ability to moisture check it as well, then you can do a yield estimate, and you'll know pretty close where you're at pre-harvest in that yield check. So for any questions about what we've talked about today, you can reach out to any Precision Planting Premier dealer or go to our website at precisionplanting.com. That's all the time we have for today. We'll see you on the next episode of Inside PTI. Thanks for watching.